Hi, Heather. How are you?
I'm good. Good. Thank you for asking.
Okay, so welcome to Love Heals Cancer and ZenOnco.io. I am Arohi from ZenOnco, and this is our Cancer Healing Journey talk, where we invite speakers who have been through cancer, either as patients or as survivors or as caregivers. These Cancer Healing Journey talks are very close to our heart because a lot of people have come and told us that these talks have given them confidence and they have given them hope that if other people have beaten cancer, so can they. So, thank you very much for joining us for today's Cancer Healing Journey talk. I would like to begin with a brief introduction about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Heather Ranelle. I'm born in Fort Worth, but I'm in Waco, Texas. And I actually was in California when I found out that I had brain cancer. Yeah, I had a major seizure at my job, and but I'm a singer-songwriter, a music teacher. I'll be turning 44 on my birthday, and so life does change, but positive energy does help a lot of things, and
Right. So, the initial symptom that you faced was the seizure itself.
well, I was having migraine headaches for 10 years, and always the left side hurt, and my neck hurt, my back hurt. And so going to the doctor, and they would just do a CT scan. Well,
Right.
CT scan, but never saw it. And then once I actually was at my job, a produce worker at Barron's, and they said I started swaying back and forth in front of the tomatoes, and I actually had no idea that that was going on, and I woke up on the ambulance. And so apparently I had a major seizure, like hit my head, bit my tongue, and torn ligaments in my arm, and woke up in the ambulance and grabbed my arm. I said, "What the hell happened?" He said, "You had a seizure." I'm like, "What the hell happened?" And
Right.
so I finally took MRI with contrast for them to find out that it was the anaplastic astrocytoma or glioma, whichever name. So that's like a star, as they call it, and one of the rare brain cancers that right here said, phew. So I guess
Right.
it finally had gotten big enough. Again, just started tripping over my left foot about a year before. Very sensitive to the light. When I was at college or at school, or at my job, I would be sensitive to the light, and so I would be wearing sunglasses in class because I just like, it's too bright, it's too bright. I actually had a numb spot right above my left knee. And so I'd gone to the doctor, and I had a list of physical things that were going on. And she's like, "Oh, you just have arthritis." Yeah, you just have arthritis. Well, that's unfortunately not the case. It was actually the tumor had grown big enough that it was starting to affect my whole body in that sense. And so when I went to the ER, and the ER doc said, "Oh, everybody has seizures, you're fine." The doctor that I had been seeing said, "Oh, everybody has seizures, you're fine." Smart enough to know my dad's side of the family, my uncles, all doctors. I went to a third doctor in California, which was a native indigenous, and he actually listened to me and sent me to a neurological doctor. And so they did a MRI with contrast and found it. Yeah. Yeah.
So, which year was this in? When was it diagnosed?
So it was January 18th, 2018, when I had a major seizure. So by the end of April is when I had the MRI with contrast done. And then May 23rd, 2018 is when I had my brain surgery. Yeah. And go ahead.
Yeah. So when you found out that you had cancer, so what was your first reaction to that diagnosis, and what was the reaction of your family members to the diagnosis?
Um, um, I was just quiet, quiet a lot, trying to understand and go, okay, well, no wonder I've been having headaches for this long. And I don't know, I was in California, and my family wasn't up there. And so after surgery, I actually came back to Texas, and it was, I don't know, just like I said, all I could do is just be silent and quiet, and studied a lot. And as we say, I'm Googling it.
Right.
And of course, it says, as they call mine was the AA3 and the anaplastic astrocytoma number 3. It says that it gives people my age 3 to 5 years, and people older than me 1 to 2 years of life left. And so trying to go, I just pushed that to the side and said, I don't accept that. I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, well, the information on Google said I would die in 3 to 5 years. So I pushed that aside. And from that moment, I started saying, I'm healed, I'm healed, I'm healed, doing a positive energy, not accepting anything negative about that type of cancer.
Right.
Yeah.
What all treatments did you undergo?
Let's see. I was just actually I was pretty blessed because the surgeon that I had in California, his name was Dr. Lance Altino, and he had been dealing with PTSD, Army, Navy, Marines. And so I said I was in California because I was blessed with the best surgeon, the best brain surgeon. And I take it that way, saying anything positive that I can about it, because I know that's not an easy task. And when I woke up out of surgery, he said, hey, the only problem you'll have is memory, and which was a good thing. I'm like, okay, just one issue, good thing. It's short-term memory. But I actually had, like I was saying a while ago, I'm a singer-songwriter. I had to relearn my original music that I had written, the words. I couldn't, I would tell people all the time, at the end, the very last word at the end of my sentences, I couldn't remember what I was trying to say. And I actually would have to describe, hey, when I was 14 and we went riding in Arkansas, and it was on a paint, begins with an H, 4 legs, and then, a horse. And so, yeah, that was something else as far as that goes. And just medication and being told that I had small and large seizures. I'm like, okay, great. Yeah, it was something else. I definitely I slept a lot. The first year and a half after surgery, I slept a lot. Had to
And
relearn. Yeah.
yeah, please go on.
And I had to relearn my original music. I had to balance myself because of that. I had never worn glasses before. I was 20/20 my whole life and bifocals. Having my balance off, my peripheral vision, and just physically having to learn physically what I was going to be dealing with as far as that goes. And so
Right. Right. So the next question that I'd like to ask is that did you try some alternative treatment as well? Like some lifestyle modifications, Ayurveda or something like that?
yeah, I actually did cranial sacral, which is a soft touch to massage therapy. And so did that. I actually had a group of people that would meet in Truth or Consequence, New Mexico, and they would have you come in for an entire week, and all day long they would put you on your back and do the soft touch in all the nerve areas. And they did water. They would have you get in their tub and float around, and so the people would be just essentially by hands following you around as if you're just slightly rolling around in water. And they would do it hot and cold. They would do it on a massage board, and that was actually very positive, being able to let go of anything negative. It was really something amazing doing that. And I said, my friend, she did the cranial sacral, and so I would go see her a couple of times a week and just do the light touch and listen to the rain or the ocean and do an hour process. And so that, like I said, that definitely helped a lot. I did physical therapy. And of course, I did radiation for 5 weeks. And that, being nauseated all the time was something else. And of course, you're not hungry. All the medication I was on and doing that, and I essentially just, after being awake for 3 or 4 hours in the day, like, okay, eat something, it was during the break. So after radiation, they give you a 5-week break. And in the middle of it, I actually was in the hospital for 15 days because the type of medication seemingly caused to have kidney failure. And so dealing with that. And then I did the chemo by pill, and it was something else, 6 months, and would do it once a month for 5 days in a row. And you would have to take it at nighttime on an empty stomach. And the nausea was horrible. I actually had to have them give me nausea medication by IV. Yeah. And so that was in that sense, that wasn't fun, but it messed with my muscles. And so I would walk 2 or 3 steps and would feel like I ran 10 miles in 2 seconds. Yeah.
Any dietary changes, dietary modifications that you made?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Any dietary changes, any diet modifications related to the diet?
Yes, actually. So growing up in Texas, it was chicken fried steak and French fries and potatoes and potatoes and potatoes and rice and mac and cheese and just fried foods and canned items, and so I actually stopped. I stopped no potatoes, no pasta, no rice, nothing fried. Um, I started eating just chicken and salmon, and like I said, nothing fried. If it wasn't baked, baked in the oven or baked on a pan, I went from no butter to doing olive oil and just fruits and veggies. Because if I kept eating, meatloaf with canned tomato sauce and heartburn all the time, and so I said, I'm gonna quit doing that and do organic and natural. I actually would grow my own tomatoes and grow kale and stuff like that. Yeah.
And how did you manage your emotional and mental well-being during this entire process?
What's a good thing for me? I believe in God very much, and I know He has carried me my whole life, and just staying with that positive energy, and like I said, saying every day that I'm healed, I am healed, I am healed, and not saying I'm going to die or I'm not going to make it. I pushed all that aside and just continuously telling myself, you know what, it's gone. I know it's not easy physically going through radiation and chemo. I said, but you have a positive energy. You're so gifted and talented, and everything happens for a reason. So, yeah,
And
just,
what kept you? Yeah, please.
I was saying just self-love, really self-love, definitely.
Right. And what kept you going on the bad days or when you felt like giving up? So, what kept you going on those days?
Um, music, music. Um, yeah, I definitely I was born with the spirit of David. I've been singing my whole life. I have embraced, and so when I have days like that, I would just have upbeat music and positive music. Yeah, and make sure that go volunteer. And I actually started volunteering at the zoo, and so that was pretty cool.
I'm sure. I'm sure. And what would be your message to other cancer patients and their caregivers?
I definitely would tell them the same thing. You speak into existence what you want, and if you want and know that this is just a temporary process that you're going through, and say every day that you're healed. Say every day that, you know what, this is done. Don't sit there and say, well, I have brain cancer or I have this type of cancer and say, well, my life is over. No, life is a constant change. And I know sometimes we get a rock at the bottom of our foot that we step on, but we speak into existence what we want. And I know, like I said, for myself, I wanted to be healed, and ever since about 3 months into my chemo, it disappeared, and it's been gone ever since. And that was 4 years ago. So
Right. And what would be your top 3 learnings from this journey?
Learning that when you're a musician and both sides of your brain works, that was really a good thing. And patience. It's a good thing that I had the idea of knowing that when you are the one who helps people and you give rides and you do what you can and helping so many people in your life, and the switch is flipped and you're the one who needs help, accepting that, accepting asking for help and telling people what's going on in your life. Yeah.
Right. And if you have to sum up your journey in just one sentence, what would that be?
Like I said, life is a constant change, and I know that everything happens for a reason. And now I get to focus more on my music and working on producing my first CD. So yeah.
That's great. Congratulations on that.
Thank
Um,
you.
so it was really inspiring talking to you. And I thank you very much for sharing your journey and your experiences with us. Wish you all the very best for all your future endeavors. And thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for being with us today.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye bye.